Hello, everyone. How are you?
Hi
Are we?
all.
We're here. Christian and Ava are not here yet, but I'm sure they'll pop in soon. So I see everybody saying hello, hello, good evening, Hearties. Hello. We're glad you're here. I wanted to show you. So I was excited because in the summertime, I found out that they were going to have the soda shop and well soda fountain, I think it was called. And I was like, oh, this is a great place for the younger generation to hang out. And I thought maybe Robert and Allie would maybe have their first date, but instead it looked like they had a showdown. So I made a recipe that went with it. There's a video out there, and it's the maple. That's our hail to Canada. It's a maple ice cream soda. It's actually really like not too sweet, but delicious. So I took it out so I would have somewhere. We were chatting and talking.
She didn't make one for me, but that's okay.
I'm
I'll stick with
sorry.
my water.
The recipe's up and you could make it next time. It's very easy and simple. You know what? Robert, the character of Robert, Javen, he saw the recipe. He's like, I'm gonna make this tonight while I'm watching the episode. I'm like, oh well, thank you. All right, so let's let's just get started. Let's start talking about the scenes, the episode. Let's talk about. Can we talk about Fiona?
Yeah, if you know what to make of her, I'm
Are you a little like confused why
just
she keeps leaving Hope Valley?
just a touch. And is she doing good stuff or is she doing bad stuff? And I'm not. I'm kind of confused with the whole not mine, the whole what's his name?
Oil business?
The whole business with Lucas and Henry and Bill and Fiona. I guess they were the four in the room where we're not going to let this get out. Yeah, I have no idea. What are your theories?
Well, I'm sorry. I think that Bill and is correct, along with Martin, with Gowan, to think that they want to twist the name around, and then because it'll be a different name, be able to open up those minds again. And they know how disastrous and dangerous it is, and it put the town at peace when they no longer were allowed to. So then having that reopen is like reopening wounds, and they're very much worried about it. And I think that's what's going to happen. And Fiona, being inexperienced, didn't understand what the whole note and stuff. It was like it's a done deal now. But they also didn't really communicate. And even Lucas at one point says to Elizabeth, like when Elizabeth said she's something, he's like, yeah, she's something else. He actually says in her defense, it's not like Gowan. He was too busy trying to rush out and was all in love in his brain, going to go run off, I guess, and see Abigail or see his son. And he left everything behind. He didn't really communicate to them what could happen or what could go down. But I like that he wants to take her under his wing now.
Yeah.
And I do think that Arthur Gilchrist, who is coming in, I saw them sitting at a table in a preview. Spoiler alert. So he must be who comes in those last two episodes. I think he comes in 10 and 11. And he somehow is going to be part of that whole deal. And I really think that it's not going to go through. I think the mine will not be open. And as to who actually owns the oil company in the end of the season, I'm not quite sure, but those are just my thoughts. I just feel it's weird that Fiona's leaving again. She just
Yeah.
got here. And even Lucas was leaving to go on the outskirts to do a deal, right? And it
Yeah.
looked like Henry hopped in the car with him. So a lot of stuff keeps happening outside of Hope Valley that we don't get to see. And I
Yeah, they're
feel
really setting us up for you know, a lot of revelations. I thought last night they made humongous progress in everything except storyline, getting what the storyline is, and in character development, except
yeah.
for Lucas and Elizabeth. But it was kind of fun to see how the evolution of a town and the evolution of time, because now they're dealing with things like traffic jams. And I'm waiting for Ned to, go back into the back room and come out and inventing the stop sign. because he seems to be the man of all ideas these days.
I'm listening to everything you say. I'm laughing because Ava and Christian just put a thing on there and says, "Come join the chat." And I'm like, "Where are you? Why aren't you here?" I'm listening to you.
No, anyway, no, I just thought it was they're showing us what life was like during that time and how things happened. Um, but in terms of moving story forward, I think story got moved forward. We just don't have a clue where it was going, what direction it's going in.
It says the kids are on. They're waiting. Can you technical? You keep talking, Kathy. I got to figure out this technical issue. Keep
Okay.
talking and tell them all your thoughts while I help out these kiddos.
I just thought there was a lot of tension in yesterday's episode between the characters, May and Nathan. He felt like she betrayed his confidence. The whole thing with the ice cream fight with Robert and Allie and what's happening with them, and she's feeling insecure. Not Lucas, Henry and Fiona having their confrontation. And what in the world is up with Lee? I mean, really, when was he ever that aggressive? And he asked the guy a question, the guy doesn't answer to his
That was weird.
and he's like, boom, off you go, all over a billboard. I mean, and it just seemed kind of mean spirited, the editorial he did on Mike. So I'm not quite sure what they're doing with these characters.
I'm not sure either.
And Mike, is he really that naive, or Bill seems to have taken him under his wing now, and he's taking him through town, giving him, taking him through the paces. I pride myself on being able to look at these stories and kind of project, oh, I think this is what's going to happen. And I usually have fairly high level of confidence. I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know myself. I'm sorry. I'm distracted. I'm trying to find the link that I sent you because I want to send it to them. And I don't know. Here, I'm copying it. Now I'm going to go in. Poor Kelly. Hold on. Give me 1 minute. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
We have airtime. Here we go. All right. I sent them a new link. Okay.
Just surprising, some of the characters. And okay, I said last week, Roxanne and I were talking about this, not yesterday, but last week. There was this whole thing with Gustav. They had an entire scene. Gustav appeared, I think, in one scene, maybe two, of 30 seconds where he bought clean pizza from Ned. And I said, I don't know if I said it in the group, to the group, or just to Roxanne, but it's like they brought Gustav on just for that, mini scene of the clean peaches. What's up with that? And then last night, they dedicate a bit of time to Ned going around going, my clean peaches are missing, only for him to circle back around at the end and go, oh yeah, Gustav bought them. What is up with that? That is not those were just not random scenes about clean peaches. So they keep throwing things, and I think they're hints, clues. I just can't put it together yet.
So I was thinking, and I don't know what all of you out there were thinking. I was thinking, what if, because he made an idea, if he thought someone stole it, and then he realized he forgot because he was so distracted. What if somebody does start stealing things, and then he's going to ask himself, wait a minute, is it me being distracted again? Or is somebody really going to be stealing things? Like, it could be a family that comes. It could be so many. It could be a child that's, by himself or herself. I don't know. I'm just wondering. Beverly's saying, yes, you did mention the clean peaches last week. I know. And then it turned into something. And I don't feel like it's done. I feel like there's going to be more. Did you talk about the whole thing with Elizabeth and her book wagon? Did you mention that when I was
another sign of progress that Elizabeth has now invented the bookmobile, which is a fairly good idea, and I guess she wants to be able to reach out to the families who are going to be coming in to work at the foundry. Oh, here they are.
Yes.
Sorry, we missed the button to say join studio.
Oh, that's okay. I'm so happy. Listen, I'm happy you're here, but go ahead, Kathy. Well, hold on. When Kathy was finishing something. Hi, Ava. Hi, Christian. Go ahead, Kathy.
No, I was just saying that I think there's going to be a lot of tie-in of current story that we can't quite figure out. Why are they doing this or that? once the families start coming in to
Right,
work at
right.
the foundry. Then we're going to start seeing like
More. It
closing
makes
some loose.
sense.
Yep.
Yes. Hello, you two. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Hi.
I'm good. I'm great. So I'm interested. Oh, look, I made my ice cream soda just in like just to say hail to the episode. Oh, you got one too. I'm thinking to myself, how fun was that scene to make? Like,
Yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty fun.
now, did they cut out a lot, or did they pretty much show everything that you filmed?
I think they showed everything.
That was nice. And they got you all involved. How did they get the splashes all over your clothing? What was that?
So that was actually yogurt. It was kind of hard because you had to like sit in it for about 2 hours and it kind of smelled weird. So it was a little bit funny.
I thought it just might be paint splotches or something, but it was like, oh, real food. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what was all over your clothing. What about what was hanging on the walls and the countertops? What was that?
Not actually sure about that one.
It was probably
Yeah,
maybe
that's a good
paint.
question. Oh, because I remember when we were in there, they had something dripping off the counter, but I don't remember what that was.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been yogurt too.
It definitely, yeah, it could definitely be yogurt like on the countertops, but they actually had stuff cling to the
All over the
wall.
walls. Yeah.
Maybe like they used some like paint that would like come off somehow. I don't know.
Something like textural or something. That's a question we're gonna have to ask like one of the set people one day, like see what they come up with, because that was really cool. But the clothing, so I'm hoping that clothing, can you wash it and that stuff came out, right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think about the whole Robert and Allie storyline?
Do you want to go? Or should I say?
Both of you.
From my point of view, I think Javen or Robert, as many other boys, are pretty oblivious to what's going on. So I don't really know, but yeah, there's not much I really know, to be honest. But that's all I can say. Yeah.
I think it's funny because there was that one part where he's wiping the table and talking to Cooper, and Allie says to her dad, like, he doesn't even notice me. He's like, well, in all fairness, he is working, like give him a break kind of thing. So what do you think, Ava? You think he's oblivious?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Christian in some ways, but also, I mean, I feel like it's kind of different because a lot of the kids I don't think have ever really like had a relationship in the show, so it's definitely a new thing.
It's true.
It's really cool. Yeah.
It's a new thing. Now, Timmy, is your character getting a little spicy? You know what I mean? Like a little bit of a toot because you were like this sweet little guy, and now I don't know.
Yeah, I think me and Cooper have been getting into a little bit of trouble.
Yes.
With many teens, I guess. But yeah, I guess so. I think my character's changed quite a bit this season.
Yeah, I'm noticing it. I noticed, especially, I felt bad when you left the book that they were all reading. You left it in front of poor Angela, who came
Oh, I
to me.
know. I know. I felt really bad doing that scene. That was really something.
I know, but that's your character. Like he's getting into a little bit of trouble. And Ava, so you and Emily, according to Allie, are very close. And I don't see Brownie anymore. Is that part of your growing up? Brownie's gone?
Because I did in one of the other seasons, I gave Brownie away to an orphan.
Yeah.
So that's how Brownie was away. And I think for a couple of episodes, they did have me like a little different stuffy, but that's it. Yeah, so I think I'm growing up. Yeah.
Yeah, you're growing up now. Oh my goodness. So can we expect, coming down the road, any other fun scenes all of the children get involved in? I know you can't tell us the details, but is there some more to look forward to? Some more fun things?
Definitely. It's going to be a good season.
Yes, I'm thinking next week is a 2-part. Like there's part 1 and part 2. So 7 and 8, right? Am I right, Kathy? It's 7 and 8.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And it looks like you're doing a bit of a celebration with like different holidays and whatnot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
are you two involved in that?
Mhm. Yeah, we
Yeah.
both. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I saw some costumes, like Rosemary and Lear in costumes, but then I saw all hearts all over the soda shop. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
what is this? And then I see Mr. Yost is explaining Hanukkah inside of the saloon. So I'm like, what are we doing? We're embracing all kinds of holidays or something like that coming down? Or you can't say?
Yeah, I can't say, but close.
Close.
Is
Okay.
it my imagination, or have we not seen as many scenes in the school as we've seen in past seasons?
Yeah, I think it's changed and it's almost like revolved a lot around the adults. So we haven't like been in the schoolhouse a lot this season, but yeah, I mean I think it's definitely a good season overall.
So even though you're not in the school, you're out more in the town though, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
For sure.
And especially in the soda shop. I had predicted that. I was like, oh, this is great for the young kids to be in,
Somewhere to hang out.
yeah, where to hang out. What's it say? At what age were kids allowed to date in 1919? Oh, I don't know.
I don't think
I,
they were allowed to date
I don't think, yeah,
until they were adults.
I don't think there was much of a rule about it, but I think it's kind of up to the parents at that point.
sure. Because some people got married when they were like 16.
Yeah,
It
no.
It says, was it really Cooper that glued the hat to the desk? Several of you acted surprised that he confessed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he definitely glued it to the desk, but I think most of us were just surprised because we didn't know that he would actually confess. So
Because he
it
was
was
so
fun.
angry about it all.
Yeah.
What are their ages on the show?
I mean they're really close to our age in like real life. So like Christian, he's probably around his age.
Yeah,
15, 14.
I think I'm playing a 14-year-old.
I
I
th- yeah.
believe.
I think we're like 1 year maybe younger than all of our real ages because like I'm 13 now and I think I play 12 and he's 15 and I think he plays 14. So
Okay. It says, Martha says, Christian, what does the LB on your hat stand for?
Oh, it was from I was recently at a concert, and it was some of the actually I was just at a concert with Javen, who plays Robert, and it was one of the hats that they were selling there for the tour.
Cool. I did. I saw a picture, I think, of the two of you hanging out. And
Yeah.
that's nice because do you get to often hang out with each other after the season's over?
We do. Recently it's been busy, but he's well, he's 17, so he can drive, or he's getting a car soon, so we'll be able to hang out a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are just people sending you some love. They love your characters, she said. And they're agreeing with you. I think Robert is oblivious too to everything.
yeah.
And then there was so Allie was a little bit jealous of Angela. And when they did the whole little bicycle ride, do you think we're going to get more of that kind of behavior from the two of you? Like, are we going to get more who's going on a date, who's not going to go on a date, or no?
Can't say much, but there might be like a little more scenes like that.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay. What's someone saying? Also, Peter said that Angela and Cooper are 5 years apart in age on the show. Okay. Yes, I do remember that. All right. Cool. All righty. Thank you for popping in. This was fun.
Problem. Thank you.
I'm sorry that you got stuck out for a few minutes. I'm glad you were able to.
No, that was totally our fault. We just
Yeah.
didn't scroll down and see the button. We thought we were waiting in the waiting room thing.
Yeah.
That's okay. And then I saw your picture on Instagram. I'm like, wait a minute, they're waiting for us. What happened? But I did love that scene. I couldn't wait to get all the details. So yogurt was the trick. And wait a minute, I have a question. Was it when it was really hot out? Remember some of those days it was like sweltering?
Yeah, it was really
Yeah,
hot
it was
out.
hot that day.
And all that yogurt, that must have really had an interesting smell.
It wasn't really the
Definitely.
feel of it being on you, but it was the smell was really bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was on her face too.
And
So
it wasn't like flavored. It was just Greek yogurt, so it smelled
they
really.
added like some color to it to make it like
Yeah.
pink or something.
Wow.
Oh, so it was gross.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was pretty
I had
gross.
some on my nose too, so it was really close to smelling it.
Was
Yeah.
it? And Javen had it in his hair. It was like
Mhm.
hanging from his hair.
Yeah,
I mean, I know I had some like here, so a lot of us had it like very close to our hair or like almost in our hair.
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. What is it? Rona says, we love you guys. Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for popping in. You have a good night.
Thank
you
you.
too.
Thank
See
you.
you. Bye. Bye. They're all saying bye to you. All right. So yogurt. Oh, I don't know. In the heat, did you hear it? Like it was stuck up to her nose, which
Yeah.
I thought was fun. And you are correct. There's more of them being outside of the classroom than in. But I kind of miss the inside of the classroom too, like the
Mhm.
little different stories that happened about those characters. And I guess when COVID, rules change, maybe we'll see more of that. What do you think? Like,
Yeah, I think when we get more drama regarding Elizabeth being certified or whether or not the school is going to become a formal part of the district,
right.
we may start getting more scenes because the scenes we did get this season so far have been involved with the Landis drama, and I love the way that ended. I just
Yes.
one of my favorite characters now. I hope he shows back up at some point.
Well, we do get more scenes of them in the school and this at the school because we see that Lucas is invited and he has a baseball, which I wanted to say there were a few baseball references last night.
Mm-hmm.
Fiona and the whole, putting her foot in the bucket and explaining that whole thing. And then I think it was something Jack said. Jack said, come out swinging. I don't know if you meant come out swinging as like you're fighting or if you meant in baseball. So I was like, oh, I wonder what's going down with this baseball now. I don't know.
They've mentioned baseball before, I think.
Yes, they
They
did.
had baseball games during the summer. And I think the school may become more prominent in some fashion once the families start coming in for the Foundry, because they're going to have kids. And, are they going to build another school out near them, or are they going to expand the school for them to come to the what do they call the Jack Thornton School? Or yeah.
And they keep building, like they keep talking about people in the Foundry, and it's already episode 6 and nothing has happened yet.
Right.
So what is it? One day all of a sudden all these people are going to show up because every episode they keep mentioning it.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
How things were delayed, how things are going, when are they coming? Elizabeth asked. Until then, it's not going to happen. Now we've got the billboard coming. And there's such a big mystery with the Pinkertons around it, but yet we really haven't seen anything yet. So it's taken them a long time to get to that spot. And I'm wondering, when is it going to happen? Is it happening?
Think this season is all a setup. This is my theory. And we're going to start seeing more of the Foundry in the last couple of episodes. And whatever we see is going to kick off season 10. And that'll be the focus of season 10. How is the Foundry factor into Hope Valley? How do the people mesh with each other? What are the challenges? And I think that would be my guess if I was a betting woman.
So when Peter DeLuise was in one of our chats, maybe the first or second one that we had, he said that the Foundry was really good for the town, that it was important that it came and it was good for the progress of the town. But of course, with it is going to come all kinds of.
There's got to be dynamic tension until we settle into, the good stuff.
Yes, I agree. I see. Did we talk to hop around? But did we talk about Lucas and Elizabeth and how they're just so cute and adorable when they're together?
Oh, they were okay. No, we didn't talk about them, but I gotta say my favorite line from last night between the two of them is when they were sitting at the table. I think they were in the saloon, and she just asked him, "Are you going to sell the saloon?" And he goes, "No, I'm not selling it. And if I were to sell it, I'd certainly speak to you first. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're already married in their hearts.
I know, like he
Oh
would
my
talk it
goodness.
over with her. And there was a part where we weren't quite sure if she truly didn't recognize Wyman or not. And then so she really didn't, because she, when she's talking to Rosemary, she said she kind of remembered seeing him, but she didn't really remember seeing him. But he gives her such a bad, like, she didn't say vibe, I'm saying vibe, bad feeling. And I'm glad she talks to him about it with him, just like the black eye story. And he
Yep.
tells her, yeah, I got the black eye. How I got it, it's not a big deal. And that, you know, I pushed back and he left. We know he didn't leave. I still think there's something going on.
But don't you love it how, even with the black eye,
Mm-hmm.
2 episodes ago, was it that the second or third episode, he got the black
Mm-hmm.
eye?
Yeah.
And he comes in and she's like, oh, what happened? No
Mhm.
big deal. Don't worry about it. And then she kind of backs off. But then we find out, nope, Elizabeth didn't back off. She knows him, and she knows when to push and when not to push.
And she
And
was
finally she
waiting.
said, are you going to tell me about the black eye? And finally, sure enough, he did. I just love that about them. They're learning to read each other so
Mm-hmm.
well and know just when to push, when to pull back, when, when to go in, when to stay out. I just adore them.
And then I'm thinking about, I love all the little things that they do together. And then I'm thinking about, again, Elizabeth in this book wagon. And I know it's like part of progress. I get that. But she says to go out in the hills, in the mountains, rather. I just, again, think that that's setting us up for something.
Hmm.
But she does say in the summer, or when she's not working. Maybe that's what she meant. And I was thinking summer. So maybe on weekends or something. I don't know. Because are we going to get to the summer? We're going to see a lot of seasons. You know, I still have issues with the whole timeline and that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
We
Um,
get a lot of parallels in this story.
okay.
And so previous seasons, she went to help was it the miners? I forget what group of people this was, but she went out to help the kids get some education. And they were
Yeah.
initially very hostile to her.
They were
And
living in the fence.
yes. And so I think that we may be getting another taste of that, where she goes out to help them read and start learning. And they're going to be initially hostile. And if I know my storyline, she's going to be a real instigator in, you know, being that bridge between the foundry people and the townspeople coming together. Or maybe she's hurt or in some way, and everyone has to come together to save her. I don't know specifically where they're going, but
Yeah. Hmm. I'm thinking about all of that traffic again. And I had said that, and I had predicted that. How could you not have some kind of an act? I know there was an accident with Nathan, but I remember seeing, and I always bring this up, Joseph looking at the undercarriage of Lucas's car. And I'm wondering if there's going to be something that happens. Do you know, like, if there, if that
somebody
hasn't
could tamper
been
with
shown
something.
yet? Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know they're thinking about putting in a traffic light or stop signs or something like that. I really think that Hickam is going to come into his own. I do. And I think I love it when we finally got to see. I love Jack and who is Bill, but I love Jack and how he plays Bill. So he looks in and he goes, yeah, the two of us, I don't think we're going to fit in there. Meaning his office is so little, right? And then he looks at the pictures. He goes, oh, these are the Hickam. And so he shows all of his sisters. He's like one of, I don't know, what's he have, 6 sisters.
Isn't he like a baby?
Yeah, and it clicks in his head like, oh, okay, he probably didn't get a word in edgewise, but this makes me think why he's so relatable and he feels more comfortable sharing and having a friendship with a female like Fiona and now like Faith.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. And when he says to like to Faith, when he was complimenting on her hair, I really think he was just comfortable complimenting on her hair because that's how he was with his sisters. He was raised with women. Not that he meant anything by it. Now, of course, Faith sucked it up and loved that attention, but I really don't think that's where he was coming from.
And you could be totally right, but they seem to also have dropped the little flirtation that was going on with Hickam and Fiona. Not that Fiona's been in town long enough to flirt with anybody. But they
Mhm.
used to at least have a scene together every now and again, and
They
they would
haven't for a
give each
while.
other the look and the little flirty kind of thing. And I don't know where they're going, if they're going anywhere with that anymore.
But what they do though is when, even though they're not together, when they have a chance to talk about each other, they're fiercely loyal to each
Protective,
other.
yes.
Right. Like when she had that, when Fiona had the conversation with Mike about Mike, and she's like, he's doing the best that he can. He's trying his best. And then again with Mike, when he was talking about Fiona, like she knows what she's doing. She's trying, she's learning, that kind of thing. So they still talk to each other talk about each other in a very positive way.
Absolutely.
I wanted to see, what is this? Candace is saying, I agree. There is something that Lucas is not telling her, and I know he's doing it to protect her, but I hope Lucas says something soon to Elizabeth. And I feel like he will. I mean, just look how they poo-pooed off the black eye. And he just kind of just randomly put it out there. It wasn't like this big, oh, you didn't tell me, kind of ridiculousness, which is good.
And I actually believe at this point, Elizabeth is confident enough in the relationship and mature enough in her love for him that she isn't going to freak out if she finds out something later on that he wasn't telling her. I think she totally would get, you were
Why?
trying to protect me. I don't like it. I prefer
Mhm.
that, you treat me like a partner and equal, but I
Mhm.
don't think she would freak out if and when she finds out something like that.
I agree. Yeah, I do. Gigi says, yes, Kathy, that saloon scene was so sweet, but I thought it was odd that Elizabeth just let things go and jumped to Lucas being with her. Um, well, she was like, he told her how he felt, and then she was like, okay, he's like, I got one in. I don't, well, no, he didn't say I didn't get one in. He begged to differ. He felt like he won because he sent him on his way. But we know he's not sent on his way.
Right.
But I also feel like there's still more to that story.
Absolutely.
I'm
And,
still,
and, and following up on what I just said, again, Elizabeth, I don't think she's letting things go. I think she's just waiting until the right time when either he feels comfortable enough to talk to her about whatever it is,
Mhm.
or she feels like it's the right time to ask him. I think she's
Okay.
just being very wise and she knows her man.
And I had always thought Elizabeth would be in some kind of danger too. I said this back in the summertime, and
Again,
pardon me? Yes.
again.
Yes, again. And I worry that will face some type of danger. And I do. Wouldn't it be the perfect setup if she was out in the mountains looking, delivering her books and something happens like there? But that's just me picking up on little things. I mean, I could be making more out of what it is. This whole season is a mystery. And they've never really done mysteries like this that last so long and little at a time. So
And little clues that keep getting dropped in
yeah.
every episode. And I was telling Roxanne, I think that by the time this is all over, we're going to kind of go back and look at the different episodes and go, oh, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why that was that way. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's driving me crazy, but it's kind of fun too.
That's true. What is Joan saying? I'm scared for her to go out because the new group of people are or could be dangerous. We still don't know about the Pinkertons. The Pinkertons, in and of themselves, by themselves, are not dangerous. They just happen to, for real, in real life, they just would attract more unsavory type, uncouth type people that were rough around the edges because they had to union bust and they had to protect and they would have a brawl going on in a bar kind of thing. It's not like they're evil and would get you, that kind of thing. But I do feel that some of them will be working for someone who I don't know can't be trusted.
I don't
Yeah.
think they're necessarily all as bad as they're portrayed. I don't know who might be that way, but I think that there may be somebody on that side of the fence that isn't
Yeah.
all bad.
And who is in that cabin? The cabin that was protected by the Pinkerton, by Spurlock. Who is in that cabin?
Ah,
Or whose property is that now?
yep.
That kind of thing. They're just saying Ben was great last night and Ben was wonderful. I agree, Rhonda. Mike is showing interest. So this is what Starla's saying, but where's Rhonda? Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda.
Oh,
Here
now
she is.
that's going to be on a loop in my head. Thank you very much.
Yes, I'm sorry. So Starla and Rhonda are saying Mike is noticing Faith as a woman.
That's
She
kind of the
looks
vibe I'm picking up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not, but I'm just not. I'm just not picking up a vibe. And why do we have to pair off everybody? You know what I mean? But that to me,
Because that's the nature. This because it's Hallmark.
okay. I gotcha. I'm thinking like you heard my whole theory. It's just he recognizes her as a woman because he's raised by women. He values what she has to say. It doesn't mean something along the lines won't happen there. I feel like her always giving that look as to what's going on between Nathan and May, her wanting to talk to Paul, listen to me, Paul Green, you know who I mean, Carson on the phone. Then that whole conversation she had with Molly about being single. Are you okay with it? I think they're all just growing pains for Molly in general. Like Molly realizing she can be independent and in love, but it shouldn't be so hard. It has to be someone who truly, not that he didn't accept her, but truly does understand her. And there was a little, I don't know, she and Carson just always had that bit of a problem.
You know, we've been talking about, and everybody's speculating about Elizabeth being in danger.
Mhm.
And my thought is that there's something major going on, maybe on the horizon for Rosemary and Lee,
Oh, yeah.
because they are both acting, especially Lee, out of character.
Yes.
And, you know, as both of them are turning into crusading reporter. So if
Yes.
they happen to find out, you know, it could be that all of the people we know about are working on this mine thing, the foundry thing on one end. Very nice.
Right.
That's a I getter. And it could
Sorry.
be it could be that Rosemary and Lee are working it from another angle, you know, being the intrepid reporters and
Right.
digging. And so maybe Rosemary will be the one ending up in danger because she's digging after a story and
Mm.
gets too close to it. Or maybe both of them. I could easily see both of them together
Yeah.
getting in some kind of trouble. So
I agree, and so I really do. I agree, and because remember want Elizabeth to write an article, or like
mhm,
write a column rather.
mhm.
So I don't know. I don't know. I think like they say, all the towns. That's why I feel all the towns coming together. I feel like we've gotten. This isn't the first episode where there's all these little storylines that are all over the
Appear to
place.
be totally individual and apart from each other.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It says we'll see how Elizabeth feels once she finds out Lucas was helping Jeanette out with Wyman. She might feel jealous or hurt. I don't know about.
I think she's past that, Arlene.
Yeah, I feel like he's not really helping Jeanette out. I think it's more like he wants to help in town with Wyman, and Jeanette must know some kind of information, something like that. Like called him up, said, "Hey, Wyman's coming to town. He's involved in X, Y, and Z." I don't know, something like that. I don't think. Well, I don't know. I just don't feel like it. It will be
I
like
see them as being so confident in each other right now. It would have to be major, major for any one of them to be shaken, that
mhm.
for their faith to be shaken in the other. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, this is true. There's a thing coming up where finally Nathan, I mean, if I were Nathan, I'd feel a little betrayed by everybody in the town that knows about May Sue having a husband. Bill
Yeah.
knows, the
Faith
Flo
knows.
and Ned knows, Faith knows, and he doesn't know. Like, what the heck? That's ridiculous. And
Yeah.
then when he finds out, he's a little hurt. So I like where he's upset and Lucas is actually giving him some advice, right? There's your theory, Kathy. Your theory of them being BM.
BFFs forever.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think Flomo is up to? The way Flo was talking about the rude new townspeople.
Was that hysterical? Lucas, we'd like to use the saloon for an etiquette. No.
No.
Walk
And then he's
away.
I'm so sorry. And then he tries to be kind, and they're like, we'll
Yeah.
sign him up first. Well, because he's probably thinking, no, like in his bar where people want to like let loose, you want to do etiquette, like squash. No, no, no. But the Flomo, like, I think that was all part of the hint to progress and new people coming into town. Like
Mhm.
they don't know Florence, those new people that were coming in and like were buying from her and leaving. It wasn't like they were on a first name basis, so they got in and they got out. Like that sense of community is changing.
Yep.
There was all that extra traffic. There was that hustle or tussle rather between Lee and that man, which was so random. So I think that's what they're trying to like point out. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I'm thinking. It says Elizabeth always gets in trouble in nature. The
Yeah.
stagecoach in the beginning, the vine with Jack, the field trip in the woods. I know her going out on the bookmobile into the mountains. Look, I'm making a big deal out of this, and we'll get to season 12, and we'll go. I mean, not season 12. Oh, season 12. Speak that out into the universe. Episode 12, and we'll be like, whatever happened to that bookmobile? I think something.
It'll turn up again. You know it will. They mentioned it once. It's going to turn up at some point.
It will. Yes, I want to know who's in that cabin. Rosemary did too. You're right. Yeah, why was Lee so mean to Mike in his editorial? Because
You think
I mean,
he's still stinging from not winning?
yes, and he sees all these things happening and he feels like they're not being taken care of. Like when he said, "Did you know they were going to build a billboard out by the pond?" And he's like, "No, I'll have to look into that." Like I think they're getting annoyed that he's not have his hands on more things. But again, Jack, Bill is doing a good job of taking him under his wing. I think now we're going to see more progress.
Mhm.
Yeah. If Lucas leaves town to get away from the oil business, could he go to see Jeanette and Elizabeth finds out and is hurt, which gives her pause? Why would he leave? Huh? He was just going to the next town over to check with the lawyer and was coming back. To leave to see Jeanette, he has to go to the States because
San
she's in
Francisco.
Louisiana. Yeah.
That's where Louisiana. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, but that would be a big deal. The pause, I think the pause already happened. The pause was she wasn't enough for him in his adventurous spirit. I don't think there's more to that. Who knows? I could be wrong. I don't know. I noticed that the uncharacteristically Rosemary was pulling in the reins when Lee wanted to print more copies. Well, because it's Rosemary who's constantly afraid of hurting people's feelings, which is funny because usually that's Lee. And now with this, it's Rosemary.
I didn't get a sense she was really pulling in the reins either. She expressed her opinion, and when he picked up the phone to call the printer, I think she was just kind of dreading it, like dog. It was his choice. I think she left it up to him because when he chose to say, you know what, don't cancel the order for more copies, she was relieved. And
Mhm.
speaking of which, excuse me, Hope Valley is still a small town. You can walk from one end of town to the other in under 5 minutes. Why do they have to call each other all of a sudden now?
I don't know.
I don't get that part.
Well, it's technology. We want it to be bigger than what in our minds that we're thinking it is. And apparently it is because there's other homes and things that are out there. Remember when Lee had to go stomping and he fell in the burrs and all of that?
Yeah.
That's why I thought that when he mentioned that, then he was out there trying to reach all those people out there. And that's again a little sign in our minds that there are people out there. So maybe that's where the foundry people are going to find homes and going to live. And also they she Minnie said she needs help in the cafe. Who do you think would be a good candidate? You think they'll give Allie a job because she needs a job? She needs something, or do you think some of these new characters coming in from the foundry would help working out in the cafe?
I think it could be any of the above, but I just got such a flash when you talked about Allie possibly working at the cafe, and I got a very strong Jesse and Clara vibe there with her
I
and Robert. So it'll be
know.
interesting to see how that progresses.
That's true. And also, I was thinking, I still have this whole thing about food being stolen. So listen, I'm just putting this out there and could be totally off base on this. So there is a mother, a character who's going to come on as a mom, I'm thinking because of the last names, or an older sibling, something, and then a whole bunch of other siblings. And I even think some of the actors are twins or something in real life. But on the show, there's quite a few of them. And I'm wondering if could it be that she works in the cafe, she needs to make money and provide for the rest of her family. Like there isn't a husband there. Could they be stealing from the mercantile? And then that's how they wind up getting a job. I don't know. These are just things that are in my mind. I'm just wondering. I don't know. Could be.
Could be.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not crazy about Lee working at the newspaper. He needs to go back just running his business.
You know, a business they don't have in town, at least I'm not aware of it, that sounds like they really need a bank.
Uh-huh. They do have a bank. They
They
just don't
do?
talk about it. They saved the bank, remember? They just don't really talk about it
Mm.
that much. Don't forget there was a comment from Lucas about not being able to take care of Wyman without Jeanette's help.
That was when he started talking French, when Elizabeth was in his office.
I thought he said he could help. He wants to help. I don't know. He could help, but he needed, okay.
He needed someone else. I
Yeah.
thought it was he needed help. I don't know if it was specifically from Jeanette, but he said, I need help.
Something. Okay. He said, I need help. I thought he said, I can help. Like if he
I
wanted
thought he said, I can do this, but I need help.
oh, all right. I'll
I
have
don't
to
know.
look
We'll
at
have
that.
to go back
Okay.
and look.
Yeah. Something there. They better clear that Jeanette story up. Elizabeth might be in danger when she teaches Nathan to drive if someone possibly tinkered with Lucas's car.
Great observation.
Oh, yes. Because they keep making a big deal about her teaching him to drive, her teaching him to drive. And then they could go out and go to teach him to drive, and someone tinkered with the car. Oh,
I could see that with her, but Nathan's already been in a car accident, so I'm not sure that they would go there again with him. But I could see her taking it out, maybe she goes to gas it up or something, and something happens. You want to see new Lucas's ugly side real quick. Go ahead and
yes.
put Elizabeth's, or God forbid, little Jack's life in
Yes.
jeopardy.
Well, one of the things that one of the promos does say that she is in danger.
Mhm.
I don't see that, Kathy. Lucas is holding back from telling Elizabeth everything. That's what Gigi thinks.
Well, I think you're probably right that he's only giving her the details that he feels like she needs to know right now, and not holding back on the ones that could make her worry or
Yeah.
that could get her in trouble. I don't think it's anything shady on his part. And again, I think that she is at the point where she understands that he shares with her what he can, and if he
Mhm.
truly believes he can't, he won't. I don't think she would get upset. I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, no, I think they have a good, mature, solid love. I
Mhm.
really do. I'm okay with that. Yes, Nikki, that's true. May is Bill's client, so he can't discuss. That's true, but he suspected beforehand and didn't say anything. So I don't know. I mean, I get that, but oh my gosh.
And why does he have to go running to, well, he didn't go running, but why does he have to discuss what May told him with Nathan?
He doesn't.
Well, isn't it how Nathan found out that, isn't it why Nathan accused May of betraying his confidence? Because she said something to Bill. She talked about how he didn't have
Yes.
confidence because of, when he was a child, he had this experience. Isn't that
Apparently,
what Nathan was angry with? Yeah.
yes. This is Wyman is good for now, but there is still something going on between Lucas and Walden. I agree.
Mhm.
Lucas is good for sure, but I just don't know about Wyman. I'm very curious about this particular storyline. Yeah, there is still something happening.
Unfinished business there.
Yeah. What else? Those are the wrong, what's this? Those are the wrong people to teach etiquette classes. They do a little too much gossiping about others. But they always are about what's supposed to be right and do the right thing and proper whatever. I think that's why they do talk to each other or talk about each other. Talk about others to each other. Yeah. They don't do it to coming out of a negative place. They think they're doing the right thing. The writers have made Lee frustrated so they can calm him with the having a child resolution later in the season. Yeah, not surprised, Starla. I could see that. He's been bubbling over and unhappy for a while, but he really does enjoy writing. But I see what you're saying. I'm excited to see Lucas and Nathan next week, with Lucas seeming to give Nathan some advice about May. I am too.
Yeah. More bonding, those are my boys.
What's this one? I don't see Rosemary as not wanting to hurt people. She's a bit insensitive at times, not Lee. Lee's
It
not.
used to be that way.
Yeah. Maybe Lee will adjust to his mayor duties, but later ask Lee to be his assistant, and Bill will eventually be busy helping Nathan protect the town. Could be. Anna's graduating. Maybe she needs a job. That's true. Didn't Lucas go to NOLA to help friends with the storm and was upset about E hugging and Jeanette may just be among those friends? He did
Yep.
go to there. Yes. What will Lucas do after he's done with the oil business? Elizabeth asked him and he didn't answer her. He just smiled. He said a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but Lucas didn't. Lucas only had the oil business recently because it was what, about 2 seasons ago. Like he didn't always have that. He had it because Henry was looking for an investor and he wanted to sort of be like a silent partner and he got pulled in. Remember, that's why he was saying, oh, I can't wait to not have to worry about any of that stuff. Remember, he said in last night's episode.
I think the saloon is his bread and butter, so he'll always have that.
And Kathy, yes, that's what I was referencing. Joseph working on the undercarriage of his car. Yes, that's why I was saying I think that something is definitely going to go down. We have so much here. Yes, I saw that too. I think Elizabeth teaches Nathan and Molly's teaching Bill. Funny that both are being taught by women. That's the whole point about the show. They always do cool stuff like that. Yeah. Janine's here. She's saying, hello. Hi.
Janine.
Yeah. All right. And so I'm just going to go down, look at the new comments, and then I'm going to show, let's see what John Tinker had to say. John Tinker said that Lucas and Walden Wyman's storyline is over mid-season. Walden Wyman is not in episodes 7 and 8, so must be 9. The story winds down. Well, that's not mid-season. There's only 2 after 9. There's only 9.
This is actually mid-season.
Pardon me. This is mid-season. So, yeah. So episode 9 is like, there's only 2 after that. Okay. All right. Let's see. What's Janine saying? He is in episode 9. Maybe that's what she's saying. He is an entrepreneur. He likes to invest in businesses, not run them run them all. You're right. Very right here. And she's correct in what you say. I really hope Minnie can purchase half of the cafe. And I think she absolutely positively will. And they're saying hello to Janine. All right. Not that we have to stop with your questions and your comments. It's just that I wanted to share, I always have it hidden over here, share something and explain something too. Let's go. Share screen, and I'm going to go with window. And no, I have to go with tab. No, I have to go with entire screen. Yes. Okay. And then when I do that, it's a hot mess. And I'm clicking this. Can you see that?
We can't see it close up.
No. There it is. Can you see that up there?
Mm-hmm.
The one that's way up there in the corner. That's the picture. Do you remember it's of can you see the picture or no, Kathy?
I can see it.
All right. Okay. So that's the picture I put out on Twitter. So I'm going to stop the screen, just reminding people. And did everyone else see the picture that I put out on Twitter? Yes. So Nikki's in there right away. Okay. So what was funny was I put out on Twitter, and I've done this the 3rd time. I put it out and I said for them to look at this look at it. I do it right before the show comes on, like about a day ahead. Look for this in the show. And then on here, let me know what it is. Well, people start answering it even before they watch the episode and I just ignored it. I just ignore it like I do with my students when they don't follow the direction. I'm like, I'm ignoring that. So let's see. Who was the first one to say it was the skirt bottom of Elizabeth's dress? Well, it wasn't just the bottom of Elizabeth's dress, though. It was Elizabeth's dress and Lucas's pants. It was the whole little section. It was when they were kissing on the balcony, Miss Nikki. So I've got you down, Miss Nikki. So Miss Nikki, if you want to claim your prize, Miss Nikki Longnecker. Necker. If I am botching up your name, I can't stand when that happens. I apologize. But send me an email and I will send your present on your little gift on the way. So last week, the winner got a pillow for the pillow fight. And on the pillow, it said adventure awaits. Isn't that cool? Because they were talking about You're My Adventure. So that was what their last week's little gift was. Yes.
I truly hope that scene is in the DVD set, as you know, because they cut it short. I hope it's on there so we can.
Yes.
That's so cute.
I know. Now, that's why I was asking the kiddos if they really cut out anything in that ice cream scene, because that looks like so much fun. How about when Robert goes, I was just trying to show her how a seltzer thing works, and it went all over the place. And then the look on his face when she's like, he's thinking to myself, you could tell he did not start what happened.
Right.
I know. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. I wanted to hit this one. Anybody else wonder how Nathan will overcome his fear of riding Newton? I don't know. May Sue offered for him to go out riding. Maybe he'll just do it. Maybe he'll go with Allie or something.
I don't know. I was thinking that he and May will ride, double saddle until he gets used to Newton again.
Really?
Newton will let her on him.
And he'll have to get on too?
And he'll just hop on too.
Okay.
And as they're riding through the fields with the wind in their hair in slow motion, you know how that goes.
My goodness. No, Janice, she wants to know if we've heard yet about the DVD of season 9 is coming out. No, I think it comes out afterwards, right? Last year, it didn't come out until the summertime, right? No, after they started filming. Will we ever see Luke where Lucas lives? Not in this season, Christina, because Chris McNally talked about it. But I definitely know we're going to have to see it in season 10. And not for nothing, I just want to ask this question. And my aunt said this to me. So as a Heartie, I've been a Heartie since day one. I've always watched everything, but I was not into social media and looking at any of that stuff until the very end of May. I didn't even know, like I always say this, I didn't even know there was such a Team Lucas, Team Nathan thing. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that people are going crazy about asking for season 10, and we're only on episode 6. And I'm like, can I enjoy and love season 9? Why am I out there going crazy asking about season 10? And someone else said that to me, and I said, I don't know. Is that a normal thing? And my aunt said, why? She's on the main page. Why are they all over the main page? Season 10, season 10. Like my aunt wanted to say, can't you just enjoy season 9? Like, so I'm just curious why there's such a push all of a sudden for that. Is that normal? Is that what they do every year?
Are they announcing other renewals at this point? Is that maybe what's triggering people?
They always wait till the very end and then she says something. So I don't know. May is not listed in cast after episode 8. Do you think she leaves with Jeffrey in episode 8? I don't think so. I think, what do you mean she's not after 8? You don't see her in episode 9, 10, and 11. I don't know about that. I would have to look at that, Starla. Where are you getting that from? The IMDb thing? I'll have to look. So there's IMDb and then there's IMDb Pro. There's a big difference between the two, because if it's not the Pro, any old grandma can go in there and write all kinds of crazy stuff or add stuff in or put a character in like they did. It's not been, they're the one that Paul Green, he hasn't been in one episode yet. So I don't know how valid, because I was researching that, how valid the yellow one is. So I don't know. People,
on behalf of all the grandmas in the world, I have to say that was just rude.
What was rude?
On behalf, any old grandma. Come on.
Me?
Yeah.
What I say?
Any old grandma can go in and do something on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't even thinking of it that way. That's an old expression that I always say. I'm sorry, grandmas. I am so sorry. Wait, there are people my age that are grandmas, so I fall in that category. No, I was just saying any old person can go in there and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is in there. She is in there, Janine Marie saying. I thought she was. She is listed. I think maybe some people think that if they don't, If they don't plaster social media with asking for a season 10, then Hallmark might not renew. I don't see that happening. It's a popular show. Okay. All right.
RC, she's at 7:59 p.m. my time, Central, but she says, I believe Brian Bird encouraged, oh, did it go?
Oh, no, I'm
Encouraged
sorry.
people to, to ask for season 10.
Okay.
So that could be, he may have done that.
All right. There it is. I see it. All right. Are concerned about all the repetitive. I wonder if people are concerned about all the negative things creating possibly issues with another season.
You know what? I think that the powers that be look at this stuff and they see it for just what it is. You've got a bunch of malcontents who are determined to make trouble, and they're aware of how they make the trouble. And, it doesn't really cut a lot of ice because the ratings speak for themselves.
Yes, right.
And people are still watching in droves, and that's what drives business.
Yeah.
So
I've sent in corrections on IMDb and I've been getting green removed with Crown's cast sheets. Okay, good. Yeah, there was I had to write in about something too that they had. I forget what it was. I wrote in early on, but I did it under the other account. It's because of such a rave of hate about Elizabeth's decision of choosing Lucas. There are some who are trying to get the show canceled. Oh, that's that small little group that goes and puts in. That's another thing. If you look up, if you research and you ask about the IMDb, if you ask how valid it is, or they tell you there's a whole bunch of stuff. If you type that in and you research article upon article saying anybody can do it, anybody can write anything. So it's why it's not
considered, it doesn't have a lot of credibility with the people who matter.
So there are in the pro one, there are actual critics that write, and they recognize, they listed them, who the critics were, that they value what they have to say. And there was a list of their names, and they're official critics. They're official reviewers. There is someone who is a podcaster on Hallmarkies, and she is a movie reviewer. She is a truly accredited movie reviewer. So that's what they're going by in the one. And because all of us can be writing things constantly, we could throw it the other way too. We could be on a campaign and say all these wonderful, great things. I'm a grandma and can't do computer. What? I'm a grandma and can't do computer stuff. You know that, Roxanne.
So you've rabbled the rouse or roused the rabble.
Well, I was saying any old meaning OLE grandma, but you get it. Just saying, poor choice of words then. And I'll have to rethink that because it's an expression I use all the time. I think the all in for season 10 hashtag is because of the haters trying to get the show canceled. There's 5 haters, okay, that have big voices. There's way more people who love it. Just
exactly.
Yeah. The main page. Yes, I know it's coming from the main page. Yes. And that's what my family is on. And that's what they said. And that's why they were like, why can't we enjoy it instead of that's just because the main page is saying that doesn't mean that we're in danger. All right. People are just saying thanks. There was a scheduled campaign to tweet for season 10 yesterday, and at the end of the day, it's marketing. It brings awareness to the show and the fan base. Hallmark is benefiting from this. Okay. I mean, you just tweeting and trending, we benefit from it too. Yeah. Why would Hallmark Crown Media not renew? Ratings are gold. Is it the cost of producing the show? I don't think that there is any problem at all.
They wouldn't renew it. I mean,
yeah, yeah. I mean, they go and they were giving away some props, and people were like, "Oh, that's it," and I'm like, "What?" So when they have props, they don't have one of things; they have multiple of things. So they're when they had Brown Bear, they had multiple of Brownie. So it's not negative. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was trending number 5. Good. That's nice. All right, viewership is awesome. I don't see When Calls the Heart going anywhere for a long time. Good. Yay. Oh, I see a season 11 even. Good for you, Christina. I like that. We'll say that. Put that out in the universe. All righty. Okay, we're coming down to the end here. So, what do you have to say, Miss Kathy? Anything else?
Nope,
We-
I just have to say I loved Lucas and Elizabeth. They were my favorite part of the show this week. Just whoever's writing their conversations, they're just doing such a beautiful job. It's not just mushy, I love you, I love you, I love you. I mean, that's great, but they are really talking with each other, and the things they're saying, just making it so clear how they feel without the mushy, I love you,
Yeah,
I love you, I love you. They're just getting closer,
I love it.
and they both know what they want. And I'll close by saying I think it's possible won't see where Lucas lives until they get married and he moves in.
Yes.
And that's where he'll live.
Do you think that, yeah, they do have a mature relationship, Starla? Do you think, who's your MVP?
I'm gonna do a Lucas and Elizabeth, I'd say, because
Okay.
they had the feels this week.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I was kind of going, what, huh, why? But they were steady as she goes.
Right. I think the MVP is well, I was trying to figure it out because I was just having a hard time with the episode in general. And
Yogurt, right?
yes, I really, well, I didn't know it was yogurt till afterwards, but I thought that I liked the idea of it being Mike Hickam because he's out, or Bill, even Bill and Mike together, because that was a thread. Well, Bill especially was a thread between the whole episode. Like he weaved in and out of, helping Mike, helping Nathan, helping May Sue, helping Lucas and Fiona and Ned. So I was thinking possibly Bill.
Good pick.
Bill with Hickam. I don't know. Definitely Bill.
And number 2 spot, the clean peaches.
I know we're hanging up here or we're going away or bye-bye or whatever, but this part people have been bringing up about the whole contract. So Chris and Fiona and Nathan were all hired at this Kevin, we're all hired at the same time. And if it's a 5-year contract, then it's not up until the end of season 10. This is just year 4 for them. This isn't year 5. So I mean, if that any of that's true, I don't know. Everybody keeps saying that. So they were all hired at the same time. So I don't know if that helps. I'm not I don't know all about that stuff. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Next week, I'm not sure who our guest is going to be, but I will let you know soon. And we'll have to talk all about what's going on in episode 7, which is a 2-parter. It's part 1 and then part 2. 7 and 8 go together.
And I get to see my future BFFs in action.
Yeah. What's this?
Not Chris, Lucas and
Yes.
Nathan.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to that.
They're hoping we get one or more in-depth conversation between Luca, Beth, especially Elizabeth, on how much she means to. Oh yeah, I know we are. Every week we get something. They're not going to let that go by.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Candace. Thank you for saying that. I felt like this was like I don't know. This one was okay. Wasn't much to dive into. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Take care. See you next week.